The latest Siena College New York Times poll shows Donald Trump catching up to Joe Biden among women and making strides among black voters. And I wonder, your view from your district, which includes the capital city of Richmond, how does Joe Biden deliver a message tonight that cuts across those demographics?
Well, I think he is going to show a very clear contrast between him as someone who gets up every day focused on how to protect our freedoms, whether it's reproductive freedom, the right to vote, how to continue building an economy from the middle class out that doesn't leave anyone behind, and how to protect our democracy, how to continue to keep our economy on track and lower costs. That's a clear contrast between Donald Trump, who has said he would be a dictator on day one, who brags that he is responsible for the fall of Roe versus Wade and all of the bans and restrictions, not just on abortion, but now threats to contraception and in vitro fertilization, that he is going to blow a hole in our budget again with the tax cuts that he wants to put in place, and he has no plan for the middle class. It'll be a very clear contrast that voters in Virginia and across the country once again will reject Donald Trump and vote for Joe Biden.
Well, as we consider voters in Virginia, Congresswoman, we know that in 2016, part of the reason that Donald Trump was elected was Hillary Clinton perhaps didn't pay adequate attention to states that were taken for granted by her and her Democratic campaign. Does Joe Biden run the risk of taking Virginia for granted this cycle?
He's not taking it for granted. As a matter of fact, they've invested heavily in Virginia. The campaign has opened 11 field offices with the headquarters in Virginia, has had robust campaign events, came in January on the anniversary of Roe versus Wade, and has had surrogates, or as recently as this week, Doug Emhoff will have the First Lady. So he is not taking Virginia or any state for granted or any constituency, but has been communicating and building a robust field operation, which at the end of the day is what's going to drive voters out to vote.
We learned today from the U.S. Supreme Court that it will allow abortions to take place in medical emergencies in the state of Idaho. This is something we saw coming yesterday, which is a whole different story, Congresswoman. But I wonder, to the extent that abortion will be an issue tonight, what is the direct message from Joe Biden when he addresses the American people on this?
The direct message, frankly, is that it is Donald Trump's fault, which he brags about, that I have become the first generation of my family to lose a constitutional right in my lifetime. It is Donald Trump and his judges that he appointed's fault that now women across the country, I think 1 in 3 women, live in a state where abortion is either banned or there are extreme restrictions. And MAGA Republicans, headed by Donald Trump, are also coming after contraception and in vitro fertilization. As a matter of fact, one of my colleagues has outside of his door signs talking about how morally wrong he thinks IVF is. And all of this chaos and a rollback of reproductive freedom can be laid right at Donald Trump's feet. And he has not said he wouldn't sign a national abortion ban. As a matter of fact, I think he will, and be proud to do it. And Virginia voters have rejected that extremism several times, as recently as November of last year, and will do so again.